Hello, you wonderful people. Indy's not looking sure if he's live yet. That's worrying. Hello, you wonderful people. Welcome to the Virtually Rek't podcast. My name's Shuey from Power on VR. I am here with my two degenerate friends, Mr. Mac in VR and Mr. Indy VR. Fellas, how you doing?
Good.
Doing really well, mate. Good. Yes, let's ask about you first.
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't know what you're on about. I'm completely healthy, and everything is good.
When did you last have a 220-pound man fall onto you from a height?
Oh, that was months ago. But the 240-pound man fell on me just over a week ago and broke one of my ribs, as well as tore a load of muscles in my side. So consequently, I am not drinking, which we will get into what you're drinking thing. Instead, I'm on quite strong painkillers. But either way, that's not what the podcast is about. The podcast is about drinking in VR. So, Mr. Indy VR, what are you drinking and what have you been playing? Which brand is that this time? What are we on today?
Today is the finest Thames water.
Council.
Yeah, County Council water, and it's quite shit, to be honest. There you go. What have I been playing? When were we last on? 2 weeks ago. So since then,
was it Vampire the Masquerade? I think that's the last.
That was the last one. Yeah,
that was the last release. So anything from then? Yeah.
So Stride Fates, I played that. Yeah, I didn't. I played for a few hours. There was a lot of issues there. I haven't been.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. I haven't played it yet, and I fucking love Stride.
That was a pre-release. I streamed it, so I'm sure they fixed all the bugs, but there's stuff in there. I haven't been back, so I couldn't say. So, yeah, it's pre-release, so you're gonna get issues, and I'm sure they would have patched it. They had a few days, and yeah. Dark Invasion Doomsday, I played. Which is a really good zombie game. It's got the indie jank kind of stuff in it, but it's still a good laugh. I've got keys to that still, so I'll give some away, actually. You guys got games to give away at all?
Oh, Walking Dead, you fucking legend. Hey, dude.
I was just about to say thank you, Walking Dead. Walking Dead's just donated $20. Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ.
You're an absolute legend, my friend.
He's just fucking...
He's just doing it.
Rain!
He's making it rain. Sorry, Indy. Stride Fates, yeah.
I'll get you some more painkillers. Space Salvage is actually really good. It was good. They had a good progression tree, had good gameplay. I like that. That was good on the MetaQuest.
Yeah, I played it at EGX last year. I thought, like, even back then, it was pretty decent what I saw of it.
Yeah, it's good. It was good. Trailers and VR don't go well. You watch a trailer and you think that looks like crap, but then when you actually play it, it's different, right?
Yeah,
but then the other way around. So
Walking Dead, fucking hell, gifting out the memberships on Indy's channel as well.
Walking Dead.
He is literally just going. Woo!
He's making it rain. He's a rich YouTuber.
You do realise, of course, he's not gifting out memberships on mine because he wants that Pico 4.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, like, it's in his worst interest to actually do that on your channel right now.
Thank you very much, Walking Dead. I'll counter that by gifting 5 memberships on Mac and VR's stream. How about that?
No, how about Power-Ons?
Okay.
Thank you.
And then obviously 15 hours of Assassin's Creed Nexus, and we'll get into that in a bit later on.
Yeah, I was going to say, we may as well just call this podcast the Assassin's Creed Nexus podcast this week. Great.
I called it the Great Assassin's Creed Nexus Debate.
Yeah.
I want to debate this.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it later.
Yeah. We'll get into that. We'll literally dive into that after we're done. Mac.
Thank you.
Right. What are you drinking?
I'm the only one that is drinking. I keep hearing somebody shout "thank you."
Yeah, sorry, that's me. It'll stop now. It stopped.
All right. Okay, I'm drinking my favourite Italian Pinot Grigio from the Puglia district.
Love.
So Oh, sorry, somebody's started talking and the mic cut out. What have I been playing? Right, I've been really getting back into Gran Turismo. There was an update 1.4, and that gave a few new cars. They gave you the Porsche GT3 RS, the 992 version. I fucking love that car. So I've been playing that. I can still hear somebody shouting, "Thank you."
I'll turn that off.
Also, Matt, can you turn down your mic a tad, according to Parasite?
It's a little bit loud, is it? Ah, right. Yeah, I'm a little bit louder than
just
you
compared to the rest of us. So either turn you down or turn us up. Pick one.
I'll just turn me down. Right, so we're level now. Yeah, and I've been playing a lot of mixed reality. I've been playing Drop Dead the Cabin mixed reality. I've got so close.
I'm working on it.
Okay. I've got so close to escaping. I got down to about a minute and then I just get overwhelmed. So I've been playing that. It was really good fun. And then from there, I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Assassin's Creed live streams. So that's what I've been playing in the past 2 weeks. Mr. Shuey. Okay. Yeah. What have you been playing? Did you talk? Oh, man.
I haven't said. Jesus Christ, he's going fucking nuts. He's off his fucking melon.
It's because he's monetized his YouTube channel, so he's over the moon.
Oh, mate, that's so fucking cool. Any of you that haven't subscribed to Mr. Walking Dead, head over there. The guy does some fucking amazing streams.
He's almost at 1,000 subs, everyone. So if you're not subscribed, give him a subscriber.
Yeah. Shove him over that edge. Literally get him, pick him up, throw him over.
Throw him over the edge. He's nearly there. Right, what have you been playing, Shuey? Okay. Sorry, we kind of jumped.
Yeah, no. So what have I been playing? I've not been playing a huge amount because, as it turns out, VR's pretty. you do a lot of the moving around and things. But what we actually did was on, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday. It must have been Thursday night, I reckon. Taz and me decided to jump on because he was getting lonely and he wanted some company. So we jumped on a game called BAM to begin with. Have you guys played BAM?
Played it very briefly. Yeah.
Have you played it in mixed reality?
Yeah, we tried to play it at EGX, but the Wi-Fi wasn't good enough. But yeah, I've got it.
I was sat there playing it with Taz, like in my studio, like just over in the corner there. There was this little BAM arena where you're these little robots that have to punch each other, and it feels very like Wii Sport, like Wii Boxing kind of thing, but in the little miniature that goes around. That was pretty fun. Had a blast with that. We tried out. Taz, you'll have to remind me what the other game was, buddy. But then we tried to play a bunch of stuff, and we didn't manage to get much going. And then we tried Blast On, and the very first, even in the intro, I was trying on the tutorial. Sorry, I was trying to duck out of the way, and just obviously my side just went no, and we gave up on that. But what we did start doing was fucking around with. And if you head over to my Discord, by the way, guys, and have a look in the main chat at the picture that Taz sent the other day, we were just fucking around in our home environments on the quests, which was actually quite fun. Like inviting each other over, fucking around with our avatars, putting each other into like my studio or in Taz's living room, and just sort of wandering around and trying to do weird shit. It was really fun, man. I had an absolute blast.
That sounds really cool.
And then I did this morning try, specifically for the podcast, because I haven't played it yet, to jump on Assassin's Creed Nexus. And I will talk about my impressions of that when we get onto that segment. But yeah, so I've played about an hour-ish of Assassin's Creed. And arguably for most people, that's probably only about 25 minutes. At this point in time, so yeah, not played a huge amount. What I actually did, there's one more game that I jumped into briefly, and it's because last podcast I said that I'd given all of my shit to my friend, in order for him to start up. And Mac, you'll be meeting him on Thursday.
Oh, excellent! Is he your +1?
Yeah, he's my +1, so he'll be coming down.
Guess who's my +1?
Mac Junior.
Well, I haven't fucking met him yet. Oh,
I was meaning your hand, mate. It's
oh right.
You're actually going to come with us, are you, Indy?
Oh, depends how this how Mac treats me, you know.
What if I say that there'll be hugs, kisses, delights awaiting you?
Which part of the body?
I mean, take your pick. My preference is between the toes, but take whatever you want.
Bearing in mind you can't bend over to wash his toes at the moment.
I mean,
you finished that vampire game as well, didn't you? Vampire, that one looks like you're taking LSD and you're looking at the screen.
Oh yeah, Vampire Survivors. So,
God!
Just before we do, I want to say thanks to Taz because I've been staring at his donation, of €5. So thanks, buddy. I super appreciate it. It's the last money on his card for the month, dude. It's the 20th. That's not good. Keep your damn money, but thank you. But yeah, Taz basically wanted to let everyone know he's moving on with his life. He's moving in with his girlfriend and their kid, and they're getting a place together. So congrats, man. Well done for moving on and actually doing the adult shit. But yeah, Vampire Survivors. So for those of you who don't know, I've been pretty obsessed with the game called Vampire Survivors over the last month, 2 months ish. Couldn't get a fuck enough of it. And it turns out that I've managed to complete, because it's just like, it's a retro indie type jobby with like really cool newer mechanics. And yeah, it took me 68 hours. 68 hours to complete that game. It's been a while since I've put 68 hours into a single player game. I don't know if you can remember the last time you put in 68 hours into any game.
Flat screen, it would have been Warzone.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, actually. I probably put more than 68 hours into that over the summer.
Probably one.
Yeah, Pop 1 is probably my next game.
Yeah.
For the time spent.
Yeah.
But yeah, onward, so probably. I'm pretty happy with that, especially things that in our creator chat with a bunch of other guys, I said, oh yeah, I've completed it. And someone was like, that's a lot of hours.
Gamer tag.
Doc was like, I haven't completed it. And he was like, I've put in 107 hours. Oh no, Gamer tag said he didn't know you could complete it.
Yeah. And then Doc was just like, noob. Yeah, that was really funny. It's really funny.
Right then, that's the intro's over. That's what we've been playing. So what do we want to talk about? Oh, I wonder what we're going to talk about.
Shall we hang fire for a bit? Just hang fire for a bit.
Oh, he's burying the lead.
No. It's because oh no, fuck it. Let's go for it because my list is really short. So, Assassin's Creed Nexus, you couldn't buy it. Very few people got keys. Very few, only some of the really big creators got keys. There was a little bit of nervousness around the store until 6 o'clock on Thursday when it released. So, who would like to go first? Who's played the least?
It's not gonna be me. There's no point in me going first, I don't think. Actually, no, that's probably not true. No, I have definitely played the least. Yeah, let's go for my first impressions, and then you two can bicker it out over what I'm right and wrong on. I think that's probably because you two.
Do you think we're going to have contrary opinions?
I have a feeling that this is going to be exactly like my thumbnail for this podcast. There's going to be like a happy, a sad, and a I don't really know.
Yeah,
that's my feeling on this, right?
Yeah, I think the problem for you is that because you can't move, that Assassin's Creed is quite a physical game because you're constantly climbing and there's sword fighting, and to use the bow you have to do this, and to throw the throwing knives you do this. Yeah, so
mate, I haven't even thrown a knife or used a bow yet. That's how little I've played, right? So I did the intro, and I've done I've literally been to the Ezio Auditore castle-y, mansion-y, in the middle of the villa-y type place. And so, where do I start? One, in case any of you haven't played Assassin's Creed yet, don't forget when you load up the game to do the T-pose shit. Because if you don't, the game doesn't fucking work. And it doesn't tell you that you haven't T-posed. And it doesn't tell you that it's not going to work until the point where it doesn't fucking work.
Apart from the fact that there's a big sign that says, hold out your hands and press A if you're standing or B if you're seated.
Yeah, which I didn't see the bit where it said T-pose yourself. All I saw was press A if you're standing. And I was just like, okay then, I'm pressing A. And then the moment it came to a bit where I had to, like the first bit where it tells you to climb up the wall.
Yeah.
And it took me 5 to 10 minutes of me shouting at this game, like, this game is bullshit. I fucking hate it. Why the fuck is this not working? And I was like, literally just trying to, every time I grabbed, it would remove my hand from the grip.
Right.
And it kept pointing to my controller being like, the yellow bit. And I'm like, I'm pressing the fucking yellow bit. It's not. Why are you doing this to me? I only have 2 hours to play. And yeah, it got really upsetting. But once I restarted it, that sorted out. The load times on the game is fucking awful. It's so bad.
I think that the start screen is a minute or a minute and a half, right? When you first boot the game up.
Yeah, but that's just because that's just doing a preload. That's unpacking a bunch of stuff. I don't mind that. Like, because when I restarted the actual game and went back into it, it was much shorter. It was, so the first one took 2 minutes, and then the next time I loaded up the game, it took like 20 seconds or something. So that's not what I'm talking about. But like loading between like mission points, it broke the game for me. It was like Max got the face. Max got the I haven't experienced this face.
That is, do you know what? That is, I've not thought that. I've not thought that once.
Really?
Nah, not at all.
Because I've sat there and I'm just like I'll go to a door handle, right? And that's the other thing that I really annoyed me actually, was the door handle shit.
Yeah.
Come say hello quickly, buddy. Hello.
Hey,
Mwah.
dinosaur dude.
Love you. Sorry, that was my son. He's just got back from swimming. Right. So yeah, the you'll go to grab hold of a door handle, and then it will go into a loading screen. In order for you to go to the other side of it, and it's like 10 seconds. And it's that 10 seconds for me is incredibly jarring.
But but you are loading into a different level, because usually when you go inside, it's separate from the sort of sandbox area.
I'm not talking about just inside, outside. I'm talking about inside versus a different part of inside. Like the villa, right? You go into the main bit of the villa, and you're like, oh, this is pretty big, and then you have to load into the bit where your sister is, and I'm just standing there being like, hey, this is kind of shit.
That's, I think what's happened is you've got, right, so you're still learning skills 6 hours into the game, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't get your first, you don't get your final skill until you're about 6 hours into the game. So I think the problem is you've experienced the first hour, but it is quite a long game, and you're still doing tutorials for the first sort of 2 hours of the game.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't mind learning new shit for the whole game. I don't mind even if, like, in the last literally level that I learn something new. That's not a problem. It is just the loading times between very simplistic shifts.
The reason that I think I didn't notice too badly was because I was always talking to chat. So that might be why you notice it more, because you're not streaming, you're just on your own, and then it probably sticks out more.
Yeah, maybe.
People have someone asked me just now, what are the loading screens right at the start? People have complained about loading screens.
That is the other thing that bugs me though, is they've like none of the doors open in a way that feels very immersive. That was all kind of bullshit to me. It's just kind of like you go up to a door and you're just like slap. Like you can grab hold of some handles and that kind of works sometimes, but it would have been nice for them to just have like a trigger pull to be able to open it, so it felt like it does in Blade and Sorcery with the I don't think that would be too difficult to implement, just as an immersive side of things. And the reason I'm talking about something like this, even though it's such a small thing, is because it's such a huge fucking studio that have made this as part of their AAA. This is one of our big IPs kind of thing, you know? So I would have expected them to pay a bit more attention to the smaller side of things. I know, once again, this is coming from an hour's worth of gameplay. This isn't coming from spending 15 hours in it, 10 hours in it, 30 hours in it, whatever it is. But positives that I took away from it. I love the way the parkour is done. I think that's really good. I definitely think that holding down the A button rather than having it pressed, I think that is a mistake on their part.
I don't think it is, because as you get into the game, the parkour becomes more complex. Not more complex as in more difficult, but more you have to move quite quickly, especially with like the gold parkour challenges which you get. I think there's 2 on every level.
Yeah, where you go through the doorways, right?
Yeah, and like the first couple are just like, yeah, just run in a straight line and it's fine. And then they'll throw in a few turns and corners, and then there'll be a bar that you have to reach for and pull yourself over to the next bit, and then there'll be like 90-degree turns consecutive, and it does get very, very complex later on in the game. And I think, my personal opinion, having been a massive fan of Assassin's Creed, not the first flat screen game, I thought that was a bit crap, but the second one, the Ezio Auditore story.
Yeah, the Brotherhood trilogy.
Yeah, the Brotherhood. Yeah, I mean, yeah, played those to death, and I think the parkour worked really well. And I get that AC parkour feeling from playing this game. And I think in virtual reality, if you had to press a button every time you jumped, you would spend a lot of time falling off stuff, and that would not be fun.
I fully disagree.
Okay, well,
there's a reason why I disagree, though.
Okay.
I'm not playing Assassin's Creed to play Assassin's Creed, right? I'm playing Assassin's Creed Nexus to play an Assassin's Creed VR game.
Yeah.
And part of that is that I want as much immersion as possible while still being accessible as a parkour in kind of game, right? Now, when Stride hit its second update, Stride made huge leaps, and I mean that almost literally, in how it worked its parkour system, where you fling your arms in order to do the parkour, right? So it felt like you were parkouring, which was really good, I felt. And Blade and Sorcery, at least when you're running around and jumping everywhere, you're actually pumping your arms.
Right,
so that immersion between those two games, either system that you use, it feels very much like you are running, you are parkouring. And in Assassin's Creed Nexus, it just felt like you were along for the ride. Whereas at least pressing the A button rather than holding the A button would have felt like you're actually involved in those decisions of movement through the parkour system.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from, but I think the system they've adopted is pretty good. I
think it's good for the masses. I think it is very good for the masses. I think those that want
casual VR players, eh?
No, I'm saying that in order to get because obviously Ubisoft have to really target the maximum audience for the amount of money that they've put into their IP for this.
Yeah.
And they want to have the maximum amount of people be able to play it and not feel sick and not feel upset. And being along for the ride in those instances, that's fine. But I really wish there was like a hardcore mode. In difficulty. Well, actually, no, in difficulty just for the parkour side of things. I think that would have made it a little bit better.
I mean, they could. I like where you're going there. Actually, if they had like a hardcore mode where you had the hardcore combat, the hardcore stealth, the combat indicators were turned off. You had to do a manual button press to do the parkour. And there were
even
no
the Stride version where you just lift your arms in order to. That really fucking hurt. I'm not going to do that again.
And no no say markers for the enemies. I would actually fucking love that. I would play the shit out of that, but I'd want it as a game plus. I'd want it to take my fully upgraded assassins in. Sorry, Indy, you've been very quiet here.
He's waiting. He's waiting like an assassin in the fucking shadows with his knife out. He's literally just behind me and Mac at this point, about to just go ching.
Can we talk about that though? Can we talk about that?
Oh no,
to unleash the blades, you go like that, and your fucking blade pops out. Oh man, that is so good.
A little bit.
I cannot wait for Sony to release a Spider-Man game where I'm doing that.
Or a wanking game.
Or a wanking game.
So
they have the same end result.
Your microphone's very muffled when you first start to talk, Serge.
Hold on.
He's going to play with his gizmos and gadgets.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it breaks immersion. They should just give you the option to jump. I mean, just a button to jump, you know. I just think holding a button down and it's like autopilot. It's just like, fucking, this is boring. I stopped doing the parkour challenges in the end because I got so bored of them. I was like, if I just randomly found one, I'd do them. But otherwise, I'm just like, all I've got to do is hold a button and move a stick. There's nothing immersive about this at all. So they need to put the option there to give people the option. I'm not even talking about, like, you can do a game plus mode, but why aren't the options there from the start to do stuff like turn that off and do other things we're going to go into as well?
Yeah. Have you ever played any Assassin's Creed games?
No, but it doesn't matter because it's a fucking VR game at the end of the day, and it should be immersive. And I know it's like being loyal to the fans. That's fine, but why is the option not there for people that went it hardcore, like me, play it in hard mode, and don't want the auto tagging, which I was really happy with the game until that point where I found out it was auto tagging, and it just went from a 10 out of 10 down to a bloody 6. I was like, fuck this. What's the point in playing? You can see where everyone is.
I remember seeing a thumbnail with a man looking at a 6 out of 10. Can't remember who did the video.
Me.
Of course, it was you.
You know what my thoughts are, but I want to talk about it because game of the year and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, nah, man. Like visually and like some other aspects, but the actual gameplay itself, no.
You know what I was really disappointed about as well, and this is going to be a nitpicky thing.
Since I didn't give it a 5 out of 10.
No, although I haven't played enough of it to give it a score. So I'm not going to comment on that too much. You know, when you finish the tutorial and you get to the balcony and then the fireworks start going up and Nexus appears on the screen.
Yeah.
And you look down into the square and all of the people, it has. And I heard this on a few different, I think Gamertag mentioned it, Beardo mentioned it. They were like, yeah, it's the most amount of AI that I've ever seen on screen in a game.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's great. But they look like the random people in Hitman 1 way back when, where they're just sort of wandering around and they're not actual real people. They're not even real AI. They don't look or feel realistic when there's that many on screen. And on top of that, the fireworks were coming out of nowhere. They come out of the river. They come out of the street. There's no one setting them off. They could have just hid them all behind buildings and that wouldn't have ruined it for me, but it did a little bit.
That is a nitpick.
I know it's a nitpick.
That is a nitpick.
From such a big IP, from such a big studio, I just expected I'm expecting just a little bit more than other things that I've seen recently.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Oh God. It's almost as if we're bashing it.
No, I'm not trying to bash it. The thing is this is what I have to point out to my missus, right? And I have to point it out quite a lot, is that I don't bash things. Huh?
I'm not bashing you while I've got a broken rib. That's what you're basically saying.
No. What I'm saying is that in in my life, the way whenever I'm critiquing things or criticizing things, it's genuinely because I want things to be better.
Yeah.
It's not because I want to shit on them. It's not because I want the people to feel bad for making it. I don't want other people who enjoyed it to feel bad for that or feel like that I'm attacking them. I just genuinely want the best for everybody possible.
Yeah.
And so with this, with such like I in the same way that when GTA VR appears or doesn't appear, let's say for the sake of argument it does appear, I don't want it to be a Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I don't, and yeah, Assassin's Creed in the first hour that I've played it is not a Ghostbusters. It's definitely a better than that, and it is doing a lot of things that the IP should be doing. But I want there to be more. Always more, always greedy.
Yeah. So Mike GC's just put a good comment on my chat, which I think is quite relevant. So Mike said, do you think they put as much love into it as their flat screen games? And I absolutely think they do, but I don't think they have the money. I think the team that did Assassin's Creed Nexus is a side branch, and I don't think they got the resources that would be available if it was like an Assassin's Creed Valhalla sort of game.
Oh, no, definitely not. And it's not been in development for as long as that either.
Yeah. So
like the current Assassin's Creed development cycle, I think is 3 years.
3 years, yeah. But I mean, you got to remember these games are massive and they cost like hundreds of millions of dollars. You're not going to spend that on a VR game. But do I think the development team put as much love in as they would if they were doing a Valhalla? Yeah, absolutely. And it as a fan of Assassin's Creed, it exudes from the screen. And like as soon as I didn't see any of these things that you saw because I was just like, I'm in Assassin's Creed. God, I'm Ezio Auditore, who's always been my favorite assassin. I just love his accent. I love the way he looks. I love the fact that he's in Italy because I love Italy and I've been to Florence, I've been to Siena, I've been to Venice, I've been to San Gimignano. I've been to these places I've actually played in a game. I climbed Giotti's Tower next to the Duomo in Florence, and I just remember thinking, I remember hanging off here as Ezio Auditore and doing the leap of faith. And it gave me that feeling. It gave me that feeling again. And so to answer Mike's question, no, I don't think they had the money, but they did put the love in because, yeah, and I never felt sick, which I thought I would, because Assassin's Creed can be quite a fast game, and I think they've managed to avoid the motion sickness. Sorry, India, I kind of cut you off a little bit there.
But do you think that being a massive Assassin's Creed fan is clouding, like, for example, are you happy with the bow and arrow? I was looking away. I was looking at someone who's at my door and I was just not looking in my headset and just doing that and just killing people. I mean, it's so unimmersive. Like, are you a fan of that, honestly?
So, as always on my channel, there's two. If you're not a fan of Assassin's Creed, this game would get a different score. If you're a fan of Assassin's Creed, it would get a better score because I think they've kind of nailed the atmosphere. But if you don't know anything about Assassin's Creed, it's just a generic platform, open sandbox assassination game. And if you don't like I said, yeah, I know you pull the bow back, you have to kind of get it in about the right place, and it auto kills. You can miss.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever missed. Maybe once, maybe, and I don't even know if that was a miss. But why is the option there? Because it actually takes longer to put auto aim in than it does to just let people shoot for themselves, like to do all the developer side of it.
Yeah, I mean,
why is there no option? Like, there's no option. It's just like, here's the bow and arrow, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I can't wait to fire this. And then you watch my stream, I just lost it. I lost it. I was like, what is this shit? I'm sorry, but it's not acceptable for me as a in the VR game, like look at Indefinite Unchained, for example. Everyone loves it.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
And that
All right.
is-
So your microphone's doing that thing where it sounds like you're underwater again.
So,
So-
I don't know if you remember this, Indy, but I streamed Horizon. Was it Call of the Mountain on PSVR 2? And Indy came into my stream, and the first thing that he asked me when I was doing it was, "Have you got the eye tracking auto aim on?" And I went into the settings, and I was just like, "That's why this feels bullshit."
Yeah.
And turned it off, and then I was like, "Oh, this feels like I'm actually missing now. It actually feels like there's there's higher stakes now. Like it's enjoyable to use them because when I actually make those hits, I feel like I've made those hits, you know." But as I said, I haven't gotten to the point of using the bows in Assassin's Creed yet, so I haven't had that experience.
I know why they've done it. They've done it right. So here's a good example. So Pistol Whip, when they were developing Pistol Whip has auto aim built in, right? Because it makes you feel like a badass. You have to be kind of pointing in just about the right direction to hit. But in Pistol Whip, it's more about the hitting on the beat than it is about being super accurate. Unless you turn off the auto aim and go for like the hardcore mode. Same with Horizon Call of the Mountain. They've put the eye tracking in to make you feel like a badass, so that where you're looking, you fire the arrow and it goes where you're looking. So, is Indy hiding his face because he's smirking at me?
No, I'm just typing.
Okay. Yeah, so they've done it to make you feel like a badass. The same as they did with Pistol Whip and the same as they did with Horizon Call of the Mountain. Should they have put a hardcore mode in? I don't know. I mean, Indy, you always play your games on hard, and I think games are supposed to be fun. And I think if you did that, 90% of the players would have less fun. The 10%, the 10% like you and me and Shuey, who could do the hardcore stuff because we're fucking idiots and we like that kind of stuff. But you don't pander to the 10%, you pander to the 90%.
Right. Okay. So you're what mode are you playing it in?
I'm playing in hard combat, hard stealth, no combat indicators.
Which is like that just goes to show how weak it is because normally you can't play games in hard mode. You never do.
Wow, that felt fucking brutal. The absolute fire arrows are flying tonight, people.
It's true. You don't know.
No, no, you're right. I mean, if I'm streaming, I'm getting feedback off somebody's mic. I think it might be mine.
It's not mine. Everyone's saying my mic's fine.
Right. Okay. No, yeah. I very rarely play games in hard mode because I want to have a good time.
I actually agree with Mac on this one. I tend not to play my games, especially single player games, on hard mode. I tend to play them on standard. I don't play. I never play anything on story, just for the story mode.
Yeah,
like nothing can kill you. But I don't tend to play them on hard mode. However, you know me. I would rather play when it comes to multiplayer games, online games. I would rather play against people that are better than me than play against equal footing or lower, because that's just how I roll. Like I have this weird sort of spectrum of how I like my games to play out.
Yeah. So then, why are you playing it hard mode then, Mac, instead of normal?
Because it makes the combat more fun. No, it makes the combat more fun. Makes it harder.
Not really, because the combat is one of the weakest parts of the game. It's like
no, it's not. Absolutely not.
You just wiggle your sword and they're dead.
That's rubbish.
I can't parry, by the way. I went through that entire tutorial and then it just gave up and moved past it. It wouldn't let it ever got to a point where I could actually parry anyone properly.
I completely disagree with you. The combat is, if you like on hard with the combat indicators turned off, it's difficult.
I just wiggled my sword through about 60 to 80% of that game. I just went like that, and they eventually died.
I don't know what to
I
say.
wish I'd played more of this. I really want to have a better input on this.
I disagree. It's the game is about timing and using the dash attack and distracting with throwing knives and using the bow to keep back the guys. To keep back, like, because what happens is on the Connor levels, obviously the English soldiers have muskets. So if you're stood away from the English soldier, they'll put the sword away and get the musket out, and they'll shoot at you, and you have to dodge.
You got to dodge.
Yeah, you got to dodge left and right.
That's immersive.
So your microphone's going. Can you hear this,
Shui? It must be you, mate, because I don't like Surge. Sounds fine to me, mate.
Oh, I keep getting this like muffled, like when he's talking, it's quite muffled, and then it clears up. Right, okay, it must just be me. Yeah, so the English soldiers will stand off and shoot at you with muskets, or the officers will pull out a pistol and shoot at you. So you need to use the bow to keep them at bay. There's I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. There's combat breakers. So if you block them effectively, they open themselves up, and you can strike them, or you can hit them with the hidden blade. You've got the dash attack, which you can use to take out an opponent while you're being engaged by another opponent. There's been stages where I've had like 5 or 6 enemies around me, and it's difficult, and you can't just run away.
Sorry, when they're all queuing up, is that what you're talking about?
They don't queue up. They surround you.
One at a time.
No, they surround you. No, I think.
It
sounds like we're playing 2 different games. I think the combat is it's not easy. It makes you feel like a badass, but there are situations you can get yourself into where you can get overwhelmed.
I don't think that happened. Maybe once when I was pissing around just to see how many people would come up, but in general, I was just swinging my sword like a stick like that, and then they just all died. There's so much footage on my channel of me doing that. I was just like, what is the point?
Is this in like
there
the
seems to be
Ezio and Cassandra levels?
Pretty much after the second level, that's what I started doing, and it worked 80 to 90% of the time.
Okay.
There seems to be a disconnect in the chats as well between people that agree with you guys one way or the other. It doesn't seem to be a clear cut of like, oh, I agree with Matt or I agree with Indy. It seems to be that people were either a little bit disappointed with the combat, or they fucking loved the combat, or they were disappointed in the combat but really liked the stealth mechanics. It seems to be sort of a mixed bag.
But then if you throw in there, are you an Assassin's Creed fan? Then I think you will see which one's which from what they say. If people have played it before.
That's an interesting. Yeah, okay. I'll put a poll up on and say, are you an Assassin's Creed fan?
There you go. I've put one up on mine as well, just so that we can sort of mix some results together and see what we get. But
how about played preview? Because there might be a fan now. Oh no, this is it.
Yeah, okay. Specifically, we're talking about, were you a fan before playing AC Nexus? That's the question we're actually asking.
Yeah. Okay. Are you an Assassin's Creed fan? Okay. So what? Okay. Have you previously? No.
Were you a fan before playing AC Nexus? Basically, were you an Assassin's Creed fan before playing Nexus?
Or
that really surprises me, Weebs, that this is the first AC you've played.
Yeah, especially with his long and illustrious career of playing video games. It's probably because it was open world, and he probably just ended up walking off a cliff and dying and getting lost. Sorry, Weebs.
I mean, that's what I do in the Assassin's Creed games. That's like me living out weird and wonderful fantasies of just being able to like cliff dive.
Yeah. I mean, like, so I am not saying that it's the best game I've ever played in VR, not by a long chalk. There is a lot of jank. Learning how to grab a ledge and pull yourself up to the next ledge that's higher than you can reach. That took me probably inordinately longer than it should have, until I realized you have to hang with one hand, pull up, it launches you up above the ledge, and then you just reach down with the hand, with another hand to grab, and then you just do the same again. Once I figured that out, there's been a few times where I've been like doing the parkour and I've missed a handhold for some whatever reason, I don't know why, and you just get this like horrible black sort of animus screen as you're sliding down the wall. You know, it's got to do with the position of your hands. It's not perfect, not by a long chalk. You know, to say that, you know, obviously I'm disagreeing with Indy. I don't think, I'm sorry, Shu, but I don't think you played enough to like you said. I mean, you said you're an Assassin's Creed fan, but you probably only played for 25 minutes of the hour you were playing, as it were, because you were trying to figure stuff out. Yeah, but
doesn't that, like, this is the thing though, because I haven't actually gotten into the nitty gritty of the story. I haven't actually tried to like enamor myself to Cassandra Connor or Altair, not Altair, Jesus Christ, Ezio. Because I haven't done all that, and all I've realistically seen is mechanics to this point. I feel like that, like, unless somehow the mechanics improve throughout the rest of the game compared to what they are in the beginning, which would be super fucking weird. I don't know how that wouldn't be valid.
Okay, so Peter on my chat has just said the story is not great. The story is not right. So, okay, I'm going to make a really weird analogy here. Okay, so Band of Brothers, The Pacific, right?
Yeah.
So Band of Brothers was about Easy Company, 101st Airborne Division, and it was about Captain Winters, his best mate, and then all the sergeants and corporals and all the men in Easy Company. And it stayed with Easy Company from the minute they landed, like training at Toccoa, the minute they landed in Normandy until the end of the war. And you saw the suffering, you saw people getting killed, blah, blah, blah. The Pacific was about 3 different characters. There was like 3 different storylines ongoing in the Pacific. There was like John Basilone's story. There was like Sledge's story. And then there was the other guy who I didn't fucking care about. And that's the problem. If they just made the Assassin's Creed Nexus film about Ezio and did a full Ezio story, that would be great. If they did it for Cassandra, that's fine. I never played any of the... I don't think I ever played any of Cassandra's games. Connor played some.
He had one game, which was Odyssey.
Right. Okay. So I didn't play Odyssey, but I played the one with Connor in it, and I enjoyed it. So I see what they're doing. They're saying, "Here's Ezio in Italy, and then we're going to change it to Cassandra in ancient Greece, and then we're going to move it on to Connor in like during the Civil War in the United States." And it is quite good, but I would prefer if they just done a Band of Brothers rather than a Pacific, if that's a good analogy.
So you're saying basically they should have done a story with one character instead of disjointing it with all the different characters?
Yeah.
What about, you like stealth games, don't you?
I do like stealth games, not with Spire. Splinter Cell. I prefer Splinter Cell's hardcore stealth over
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. Oh,
love Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh god, there's another game I put 100 hours into, and the DLC. Oh my god, it's so good.
What do you think of the stealth in Assassin's Creed then?
I knew you were going to ask me this. It's not good, particularly.
Okay. Like it says in the game description when they marketing whatever, it says it's a stealth game, which is kind of true, but it's like, why is there no option to turn that god awful auto tagging off? Because it ruins the whole stealth. If you can X-ray vision through the door and see somebody coming like round the wall, and you just stand there waiting for him to finish his walk around, and you go, I even did a talk through. I go, this is boring. I'm just waiting for this guy. And there was an odd occasion where the guy was behind something and I had to listen out for him, right? Maybe 3 times in the whole playthrough because I didn't see him beforehand. Yeah. And I was like, this is so cool, but I'm going to have to go back to the other way because if it didn't have all those stupid tags in it, I would have given it a lot higher rating because I love stealth games.
Yeah. Yeah. But so how did you feel about Masquerade? Did you try and play Masquerade on the full stealth?
I didn't play it. I played it for like 2 hours.
That was uncomfortable.
What was?
Yeah.
Playing Masquerade on full stealth. It was like a good stealth game is a game that is able to create moments of tension and action within a stealth environment. And Masquerade was basically set up on top of a roof and wait there for ages and then move and hope that you don't get seen a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then repeat until you get to the end.
Sounds like a wet dream to me.
Yeah, I imagine you'd have liked it.
That was funny.
Hey, Rob, how you doing, mate?
I need to jump in. I do need to jump in and see because a lot of people said it's really bad. Even I would get pissed off with it. So I have to, yeah.
It was so hard that it would only appeal to someone like you, Indy.
Masochist.
Rob on Indy's chat has just said that he full stealthed it and he really enjoyed it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me from him either.
No, that doesn't. No. Well, he'd probably be sitting in a corner talking to himself.
Like
for an hour.
I will do it. Maybe I might even play tonight. See how I feel after this.
Thanks, Shaven. Appreciate
well
it,
done,
buddy.
Shaven.
Super appreciated, mate.
Joined the REKIN crew. Good man. Joined the REKIN crew. Shaven Monkey's just joined Poweron's channel.
Oh, nice one. So, did you say Shaven Monkey?
Yeah, Shaven Monkey. I met Shaven Monkey, so that we're clear, right? I met Shaven Monkey not through my channel, not through the podcast. I met Shaven Monkey. I'm fairly certain, Shaven. Tell me that I'm wrong. I met him playing Contractors in the middle of a game with a bunch of people, and just literally started chatting and like started talking about like different products because I think he'd literally just got his Quest 2 like a week before or something. He's a really cool guy, man.
Nice one. Welcome.
Thanks, mate.
Welcome, Shaven.
I just want to point out one more negative thing, and it's another nitpick. It's another nitpick, but I think this one, when games put in something for literally no reason, it really does my head in. And when you come out of the memory back into the Animus OS, and you have to do the fucking stupid fucking password bollocks entering thing. What a load of absolute bollocks.
I like that. It's a 3D puzzle. It keeps your brain young. And as you know, I need all the fucking help I can get.
I disagree that it's a 3D puzzle. I think it's actually no. A puzzle, yes, as in literally, as in a puzzle that I would have in front of me. It is like those kids' puzzles that you'd buy a 3-year-old, where it's like 9 pieces, and it's like, yeah, you just have to look at what's on the front of the box and then put it in the right place.
Reminds me of the joke about the 3 blondes. They said they were like celebrating. The guy said, "What are you celebrating?" Said, "Well, we had this puzzle to do, and it said 3 to 4 year old, 3 to 4 years, and we only did it only took us 3 months to do it." And you think, yeah, okay, I see what you mean. There is a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No, I enjoy. I tell you what is really good. Though is when you're in the Animus on a Quest 3, and you've got your pass through on. It goes to that grid.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. That was really cool.
Yeah.
The moment that came up and the pass through was on, and I was looking around, and like everything's in that nice little blue shade with the grids everywhere, and I was just like, this is what I wanted. So I was really impressed from the get-go with how it looked. I liked that. I really wish that the when you're talking to Abstergo lady, I really wish that was in the pass through. There didn't feel like there needed to be a separate VR room for that. I didn't feel. I think that would have been slightly cooler.
Dips has actually just said on Indy's chat that it actually works on the Quest 2 quite well as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Speaking of puzzles, what are your thoughts on the puzzle system?
They're just get video game puzzles. It's just they're not supposed to be super difficult. I think there was one.
No, no, I think it's gone. Sorry.
Yeah, they're okay. I like the lock
Mm.
picking. It reminds me of
That was good.
Skyrim. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one puzzle where you had to make 2 pictures from 6 rotating panels. And I was just stood there like a dickhead going, well, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. And I turned around and the pictures are actually behind you and you just have to kind of align the stuff. There's like 2 lions' heads that you have to turn. You have to get the kind of
Yeah.
chins lined up. Yeah, that was okay. What was the hardest one? Oh, it was the one with the planets. The oratorium, where you had to line the
Yeah.
planets up to shine the lights onto the door.
How long did it take you to do that?
I don't know, about 5 minutes. It's interesting.
Were you completely bamboozled at first?
No.
So you knew what to do?
Well, so I looked. I sort of. You can rotate the things, can't
Yeah.
you? And then there was like very faint light. So I was like, well, so I looked up, and I saw there was something blocking. Or that you had to like pull a lever or something. I can't. You had to shoot it with your arrow. I can't remember to open the hatch. As soon as I opened the hatch, I was like, oh yeah, okay. Well, that's better. And then it's just a case of moving them. You know, because there was like 3 diamonds on the middle, 1 top, 1 bottom, and it was just a case of like lining up. Reminded me like a little bit of the sort of Half-Life Alex light puzzles to open up the machines. Yeah, so I thought it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, that was a cool puzzle. I think that's when I kind of had another little fuck's sake moment because I was trying to figure it out, and I like puzzle games. But when the game, like even with that light bit, when the game tells you the answer without the option to turn that off, right? You be quiet, Silver. I'm not going to read your comment. Like I was trying to figure out what is this puzzle, and then I was looking around, and they said, "Seems like there's some light out," and I'm like, "For fuck's sake, why can't you figure it out for yourself? If you, it's like here's a crossword." You figure it out. I'm just going to leave 1 letter out of each word, but it's already filled out for you. It's just like fucking stupid hand
That's the sort of crossword I need, mate. It's
exactly. No, but then I was like, "Where's the just have the option to turn it off from the start?" Like, why do developers bring out these games and all it is an option? Can't be too hard to turn on and off, toggle it on and off because it just broke the game for me. So
like no hints.
Yeah, no hints. That's the whole point of puzzles. Like the bookcase puzzle was cool, and I was like, it just tells you. Oh my god! And it's like that should definitely be an option to turn all that off because first it was the auto tagging, then it was the bow and arrow, then it was the puzzles, and yeah.
You know what game really got puzzles right?
Eh?
Like more than any other game ever. And I know it's a puzzle game, but do you know what game really got puzzles right in a game?
Static?
Was Professor Layton.
I never played
that.
It
was on the DS. And it was the whole game was puzzles. But it was a puzzle RPG. It was a really cool idea, and it really was like brain training whilst you were playing an RPG. It was really cool. And I really wish that games took a bit more of a leaf from that. Like, here's your first puzzle. It's quite easy, but you can see what we're doing here, right? And then the progression, not only of the game, but of the difficulty of the puzzles, follows in the same vein, so that you're learning whilst doing it, and eventually you end up like if you were to try the last puzzle, you'd probably never be able to do it unless you'd done the previous puzzles. But I really wish games went back to that sort of model.
Yeah.
Sorry, a bit out of left field.
Nah, yeah. I was just gonna say Static was good in the PSVR 1. That was a good puzzle game.
I don't think I ever played that.
So yeah, the puzzles. And a lot of the stuff that I had that I think myself and other people do as well that there's an issue with can be fixed with a toggle on and off. The archery toggle on and off. The puzzle hints, toggle on and off, because that's not hard mode. Just like the archery, the hints, and the biggest one that just kind of made me, drop that bar of how good the game was the auto tagging, and that's a simple toggle on and off, and it should be there on release. Like, should be more options, because I've played through it now, and if they do all the stuff I was saying, I'll play it again. I wouldn't, but it's just like I've already played it as well at the same time, so I wanted to experience it the first time without all of that on there.
All right, so it's actually, you've actually kind of reminded me about. So we're going to go back to Crossfire Sierra Squad. So when it launched, it was fucking dreadful, but it was also fun at the same time. Weirdly, I played it with Tass. I played it a lot with Tass. We had a good time. It's dumb fun. I just enjoyed it. But then they went, "Oh, we've listened to all the feedback, so we've taken away the sort of markers. We've taken away the auto reloading, though still it is kind of auto reloading, because all you have to do is just press a button to drop the mag and put another mag in, and yeah, it kind of does it all for you. So shouldn't this been picked up in game testing? Because I know for a fact that sadly it's Bradley played AC Nexus over a year ago. So where are the games testers? Where are the experienced VR games testers who go, yes, no?
Yeah. I have a feeling, because they had to employ people to do this, right? Or they had to have. I wonder whether we will never get. I wonder whether we'll never get the answer to this. My suspicion is that more people have played it than they're letting on, and that it's because they were under such a heavily lawyered the fuck up NDA.
Yeah, because Ubisoft are a big company.
Like I recently signed an NDA in the last few months, and it was the heftiest NDA that I've ever signed. And I can only imagine, like, there's absolutely no way I'm breaking that, I'm hinting at that, anything like that. And it's not even that, it's not even something that exciting either, which is really weird. And when it comes out, like, I'll probably just be like, oh yeah, I was under the NDA for that. And that it's not like a big popping thing.
Yeah.
But I half wonder whether, Ubisoft have put out like this 93,000 page NDA that basically says, if you even breathe the word Assassin's Creed Nexus, we will take your house,
in your
dog,
sleep,
your firstborn.
Yeah. But you got to remember, I mean, like, so if you look at the sales figures for some of Ubisoft's games, they're like in the 5 to 10 million, and it's fucking crazy, so there's a lot of money. So their NDA will be like, it's not like, oh, here's the embargo, please don't break it. It's like, if you break the embargo, we will send you to the front line somewhere where you really don't want to go. And I have signed NDAs like that. I've signed NDAs that say you cannot breathe a word or we will kill your firstborn. But yeah,
so yeah, basically,
sorry,
it's the simplest of things. It takes more work to have bow and arrow mechanics as an auto. All right, fair enough. If you want to, it's the fucking hand holding. Just give everyone the option to turn it off. But from day one, because I've experienced it now, and I didn't enjoy. Do you know what I mean? I enjoyed some of the parkour elements and stuff and bits and pieces, but after the first few hours, it just felt like here we go, wiggle your sword. Oh, there's 10 people coming at me. Arrow, 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 throw, don't even look. Oh, stealth. Oh, it could have been really good. And I'm sure if they update it, it will be great. But for me, it's not like people are saying it's like Game of the Year candidate and stuff. It's not. On looks and certain other things, all right, but the game mechanics and the hand holding for me is nowhere near Game of the Year. I didn't enjoy it that much.
So I disagree with you, because your first default thing is to put it on the hardest mode you can possibly do and then play through it, right? So, I mean, I have experienced that firsthand when we played that Survivor video game, and I was like, why am I getting killed so often? You were like, oh yeah, by the way, it's on the hardest level. I was like, right, okay, I've never played before, and I don't even have to reload my gun. So, like, the way, like, your attitude towards it doesn't, like, that would not be a fun stream for me to do, because I would spend all my time dead. In fact, I think I did. So, like I said previously, they're not pandering to the hardcore. They're pandering to the other 90% who just want to. Oh, I love Assassin's Creed. Oh, you can play it in VR. Put the headset on and just have fun. You know, feel like a badass. Throw a throwing knife, kill somebody, use the bow. Oh, that's amazing! Look at that! I killed that guy from like 50 meters away.
Without aiming.
Eh? Without aiming. You have to aim. You have to be pointing in the right direction.
Even in hard mode, it was a piece of piss. You know.
No, I disagree. I think the sword combat when you're facing multiple opponents is hard. But so okay, this might be a problem with the game testers saying, right, you know, if we do this, then it'll appeal to the hardcore. And they've looked at how much it's going to cost them. They've said, no, we're not doing that because we need to make money out of this game because we're Ubisoft, and that's why. I agree with a lot of what you're saying, right? But for me, it made me feel like a badass. Like parkouring, knife throwing, like doing the targeted drop with the secret blade, using the smoke bombs to confuse enemies and then running in and like blading one, you know, throwing Connor's tomahawk at another, then just getting your bow out and taking out the guy who was aiming his musket at you. It just, I don't know. It just, there was a point in my live stream today where I was playing as Connor and I was on a roof above two English soldiers and they were talking away, and I got a smoke bomb out and I went, have some of that. Targeted one guy, dropped off the roof, secret bladed him, killed him, turned. The other guy was coughing from the smoke bomb, and I did the combat dash straight in the throat. And as the smoke came down, there was a guy stood with the musket, and he obviously looked at me and he was like, oh, where the fuck did you come from? And I just like went like that with my tomahawk, and it went dunk straight into his head. And I just remember thinking, fuck me. I'll remember that. I remember that little sequence for a long time. And that's kind of what, for me, Assassin's Creed is. It's those little moments where you feel like a badass.
I didn't. A full stop.
I haven't.
Watch my stream and people will just see me how fucking miserable I am. I'm like, there, throw this, throw that. Oh, there's someone there. Oh, there's 10 people coming at me. Bang, 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 bang. On to the next bit. I didn't enjoy it.
Okay, so, well, as in this podcast, we agree to disagree.
Yeah, just add the
we're
fucking...
We're going to have to. I really did think that with so many games with combat that is so similar to the AC games.
Yeah.
Like Blade and Sorcery, like Battle Talent. I thought that they might have gone more down that road. But
okay.
You know, maybe that's just not for the masses.
No, that's fine. But options. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you know, they might look at. So, I mean, in my Discord, it's been overwhelmingly positive. I don't know whether that's because of my attitude to the game. People have come back to me and said, "Oh yeah, it's absolutely brilliant fun. I really enjoyed it." And I've, you know, I recommended the game to loads of people. I think it's good fun, and it's a big game. I'm like 15 hours in. I'm not even. I think I'm only about 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, for me it was fun in little pockets here and there. Yeah, but they can all be fixed. But for me to release a game like that and not have, how many people have played that game, not knowing about the auto aim, first time picking up the bow and being like, hold on, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think this is the longest topic section we've ever had on the podcast to date, with, in amongst that, the most sort of opposing view as well of what we've had. It's just interesting thing to see. Like, we're 3 friends, all with similar ideas, all running channels, all super into VR, and we've come away from this in with such a massive disconnect of what the game was.
So what was the results of your poll? 53.
So I said this earlier. I had a look at both of your polls. If you add everything up, it works out roughly 50-50. My poll isn't worth doing anything with realistically, because there was 8 votes, 87%. So it squiffs it to about 60-ish%.
Yeah.
60-ish% were fans prior, over all 3 of them. So
53. So
mixed bag.
yeah.
Crash was like, this poll was the best because mine had the highest fan base for AC.
Oh man. Yeah, so it's split. It's definitely not game of the year. I don't think so. Like, honestly,
so sorry, Power On. Shaven Monkeys just said on your brand new channel member has just said on your chat, they played it safe. Yes, they did, but they didn't play it as safe as Ghostbusters.
No, they didn't. Ubisoft has not played it as safe as Sony.
Ghostbusters didn't play anything. It was just called Ghostbusters, and it wasn't anything like none of the Slimers and fucking.
There wasn't a Marshmallow Man. There wasn't. What was the Demon Lord in the first one called? He was called.
Huh? Not
It's
Vigo.
really gonna. Huh?
It wasn't
Vigo.
Vigo.
Vigo was the second one. Yeah.
Vigo.
But then again, I don't think they even had the rights for those Marshmallow Man and Slimer and stuff like that. I think that's where it went tits up. Otherwise, why would you not put them in there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about it on the last podcast, and we think it was purely and simply so that mothers and fathers could play with their kids.
Yeah, fan service, basically.
Have a nice time. Yeah, exactly. They played it so safe that it's like one of those, like a sequel to a film that people love, where they don't pander to the hardcore, they go for the money, and obviously pisses off all the hardcore fans. And I mean, that's what Ghostbusters did. I didn't buy it. I looked at it and thought, nah. I looked at people who reviewed it who I respect, because there were people who reviewed it who said this is the best game this year, and it was just like, okay, you're on my list of people not to trust anymore.
And the thing is, I've had people come to me and say stuff like, buy the game off reviews and stuff, like from the 6 p.m. embargo, and just say like, no.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to take a quick throw. Evil Kingus is in my chat, and we had a bit of a tete-a-tete a couple of days ago about Assassin's Creed. He completely disagreed with me, and I completely disagreed with him, which is fine. Got a bit heated. It's one of those things. But we just agreed to disagree in the end. I said, in the end, my Discord channel is there for discussion and discourse. And he was like, yeah, fair enough. So Evil Kingus is in my chat. He's one of my channel members. I've got a lot of respect for him. There you go. He didn't like Assassin's Creed either.
Yeah, I've got people coming up to it, and it's like nobody else is pointing out the stuff that I am, or they're not doing it as like in depth that I'm doing it. And when I did my review, I made sure that I did it like unbiased. I was very sure to like point out the good stuff, and then the bad stuff and why, and the good stuff and why, and all that kind of stuff. So it didn't just look like a hate letter. to Assassin's Creed, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is how you can improve it. So I'm not hating on the game. There were some good parts about it. There's some really, really good parts about it. But overall, it was a 6 because of all the stuff that I mentioned. I would love to have seen all of that stuff taken or optional from day one, because I've already experienced it now. I would go and try it again if they started putting options and toggles and stuff, and if they did do all the stuff that I would prefer, I'd play for it again. I'll just delete my save and play for it again.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, for me, it's not perfect. It's an 8 out of 10, I think.
Okay. Yeah, people are asking them oh no, you got to finish first though, haven't you? Before you, but at the moment it's an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I haven't finished it. I'm 15 hours in. I'm on. Oh, Christ,
how many levels have you done?
I think I'm on Ezio's 5th level. So you do 3 Ezio levels, then you do 2 Ezio levels. You go, then you do Cassandra, then you do Ezio, and then you do Connor, and then So I'm so I've just finished the Connor episodes where you break into the fort and you break into the manor house and get to find out where the guy's sleeping. Yeah, I think that's where I've got to. And then it switches to the Animus, and then you go back to Ezio. So, I mean, it's like 15 hours. I'm guessing the game's 20 hours long. So I think I've got about another 5 hours or another couple of live streams out of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving it. I'm just, it has a bit of jank. Nothing, it's not perfect. But if you're a fan, it's really good. And that's the only way that's the only way I can sort of recommend it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that plays into it majorly. So as just like I was saying, just from me as a gamer without the whole Assassin's Creed background, that's what I think of it basically.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool. Do we want to move on to anything else?
No, yeah. Let's go.
No, that's the Assassin's Creed Nexus podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We've been Mac and VR, Shuey VR.
We got to talk about Arizona Sunshine. Come on, we got to talk about the Arizona Sunshine gameplay video.
That is my most hyped game of the last quarter of this year for me.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through the games that are releasing in December. So what's the release date for Arizona Sunshine?
7th.
The 7th, right? Okay. So we've got Sniper Elite VR Winter Warrior on the 30th of November, and Stranger Things, which there's not been a lot of hype about Stranger Things, so I'm a little bit worried about that one. But I'm a massive fan of Sniper Elite. Arashi Castle of Sins, December the 5th. Then we've got Arizona Sunshine on the 7th. Unfortunately, Bulletstorm got delayed from the 14th to the 18th of January. So that's out the picture.
That's for the best though, right?
It is, because they were going to go up against Asgard's Wrath, which, yeah. Okay, so
there's a lot of games. There is a lot of games.
There is a lot of games coming out in December, and it looks really good. So Serge, how do you feel about Arizona Sunshine 2? Did you play the first one?
Yeah, I played it. Yeah.
Co-op?
I haven't watched people play multiplayer. I haven't watched the gameplay, anything, because I like to go in blind when I play games. I don't want to see anything. But there was that original trailer. I mean, you got a dog and you can put grenades in zombies' mouths and shit. So I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, it's Vertigo Games. I mean, shit. They made Arizona Sunshine 1 and After the Fall, which we all played a lot. I think
we played a lot of After the Fall.
So yeah, I'll be streaming it.
Okay, so the trailer they showed you was obviously a CGI trailer.
Yeah.
But the gameplay trailer they showed you, what did you think about that, Shuey?
Mate, So the trailer, I tend not to put too much into
Yeah.
the trailer.
Yeah.
Because even if it's a gameplay trailer. So what I did, I went and watched Gamertag's video. I went and watched Mike's video and Beardo's video as well. With I think he was playing with Soul Fox.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what I was expecting it to be, and that is not a bad thing. I loved the first one. I thought it was one of the first VR games that I played through fully. I also played through it twice, once with two different friends. In the co-op mode, the narration of it from your character is fucking hilarious. It's so deadpan. It's exactly how I would be at that point in time. I would be just so pissed off that I was taking the piss and talking to zombies. They've basically taken all of the gameplay that I loved about the first one, and it seems like they've just improved incremental things and then added some other things, which I'm a big fan of. Hopefully they bring back Horde mode again, because I sank literal days and weeks worth of game time into that, especially leading up to that tournament that I played in.
I've got news for you, mate.
What's that?
I've got some news for you.
Ooh.
Because I take it from saying that you didn't watch the full Arizona Sunshine gameplay reveal trailer. Okay. I can talk about that because I watched it and did a live stream and watched it and got more and more excited every time I watched it.
Go on in.
So the first thing it did was the head developer introduces the game. You get to see, I think the dog's called Buddy, or he just says, "Hey, Buddy," and pats the dog. The dog's got scars. The dog's got a tactical vest on. The dog can carry weapons and stuff for you. Graphically, it looked not like the CGI trailer, but there is a bit where he picks a zombie's head up off the floor, and it does that thing with the jaw. Like you see in the CGI trailer, he picks the head up and it goes, He actually does that, and it's like live. And it's actually in the game.
If you watch the Beardo Benjo one, he feeds it a sausage. That's a whole thing that I'm going to end up doing multiple times.
Is that coming out on Meta, Steam, and PSVR 2, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Hold on, I've got it written on my board. Yes.
What would you guys play it on?
I am probably going to play it on PC.
I'm probably going to play it
as long as it's got crossplay. If it doesn't have crossplay, I'll buy it on Quest.
Yeah.
Right. So we actually didn't get to the whole thing. So they go through this single player gameplay thing, and they show like probably the first level, and the same guy is back doing the voiceover. He's got that crazy, I'm the last human. I just want human contact sort of craziness going on. Called the zombies Freds. It's funny as fuck. He shoves in proper in-game play, real gameplay. He shoves a grenade into it's a gameplay mechanic. He shoves a grenade into a zombie's head. He steps back and this fucking zombie just disintegrates, and it's so funny. And through my stream, I was like, pause, and you could see the arms and legs flipping, and the arms and the legs and the feet, the joints move. So there's a bit where he gets Buddy to go and pick up a zombie's leg, and the dog comes back with this zombie's leg, and the foot's like, it's just so cool. So you can use the dog to solve puzzles, like go fetch this key, do that, and all that sort of the other. And then there's a section where they have your favorite Tigress, Ginger's VR, Cass and Cherry, Reese the King, and a couple of other guys whose names escape me. And they're talking about the stupid stuff they did in co-op. Like Reese the King feeds his mate a sausage.
Yeah.
And it's just like stupid stuff. They're like, he finds a hat, so he puts it on the dog. They put the dog in a trolley. So there's a dog with a sombrero, and they're pushing the trolley and they're shooting zombies. They can order the dog to like go and attack things. And there's a horde mode. And it's 4-player. Awesome.
Love the horde mode. I
The co-op is 2-player. Sorry, the horde mode is 4.
Yep. So I speed ran the horde mode on the original.
Yeah.
In the Virtual Athletics League Winter Games. And that was so fun, man. I spent so long learning every single in and out of the horde mode, to the point where I was literally, I played it so much that I was headshotting at 50 yards with pistols, because that was the only way that you could speed run it fast enough.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I won that live on stream. That was really good.
So going back to weapons, during the gameplay trailer, we saw a 1911, we saw a revolver, we saw a Desert Eagle, we saw a Glock, we saw an AK-47, an M249, and a pump action shotgun, which looked very, very similar to the one in After the Fall. So I'm pretty sure, and they sounded good as well. So I'm pretty sure you're going to get the same kind of weapons that you had from After the Fall, and you're going to get that same kind of...
That'll probably be the deluxe DLC download for whatever, or just like a add-on maybe.
You're such a cynic.
No, I'm just saying they could bolt it on. Instead, bloody hell, what's it called? After the Fall download, where you get the weapons and that.
Cynic.
No, I'm not being cynic. I'm just saying it'd be a good DLC.
Are you looking forward to it though?
Yeah, because I really like the first one, and they're good at zombie games, and I love zombie games. I love zombies and stealth games are my favorite. So
okay, should we? If the drugs haven't taken over.
What was the question? Sorry, I'm in and out of concentration. I've got to admit.
I can see in your eyes. So, are you looking forward to Arizona Sunshine 2?
100%.
Yeah.
I have because of the rinse and repeat gameplay aspects of the alternative modes. Same with all roguelikes and like, for instance, like Vampire Survivors. Because of the rinse and repeat gameplay, it will keep me hooked way more than any story campaign ever will. Yeah, ADHD is a bitch like that.
yeah, so that's Arizona Sunshine 2, then Arashi, there's Asgard's
Sniper
Wrath
Elite
as
VR.
well.
Quite excited for Sniper Elite VR.
Yeah, same here. I love World War II kind of games as well.
Because you played that on hardcore, didn't you?
I play everything on hardcore. Even my porn's hard.
I mean, as long as that works for you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little bit disappointed that Bulletstorm has been knocked back to the 18th of January, but I can see why, because they were releasing basically 2 days before Asgard's Wrath hits the Quest 3, and I think that it would just got swamped. I think it would have just got swamped.
There's too many games coming out. The thing is, it's got a big fan base still, but there's a lot of stuff coming out.
Yeah. Oh, you can pick up if you fancy playing the flat screen version of Bulletstorm, you can pick up the enhanced version on Humble Bundle for £2.99, which I did.
And you can VR mod it, right?
I'm not sure. But it's the 2017. So the game basically released in 2011, but this is the 2017 like remaster. So I think that's going to be the best version. So maybe go and play the flat screen version, see what it's like, and then indulge in the VR version when it comes out, because apparently they're going to be identical.
I've never played a Bulletstorm game. I'll save it. I'm saving it for the VR.
Okay, sure. So a little bit of history. So there's a guy called Cliff Blazinski, who did the Gears of War, the flat screen Gears of War. He did Gears of War 1, 2, and 3, and then he left the company and set his own company up called People Can Fly. I think it's called People Can Fly. And then he did, but that Bulletstorm was his first game, and I remember this was like Gears of War, but sweary and like crazy, because you could like kick people up in the air, you could kick people into spikes, you could do like bullet combos where you shot somebody, they flew up into the air, and if you kept shooting them, you would get combos, and when they came down, you could kick them, and it was just madness. I'm pretty sure that's going to work really well. In VR.
Would you like to see Ezio and Marcus Phoenix in a sexual encounter?
Do you know you can pay for people to draw that shit? Like, as long as you got the right amount of money, like people will draw you Dojin. Like that's. I may pay for that for Mac's Christmas present.
Oh, no. Happy Christmas! Here's some slippers. Here's some socks. What's that? It's Marcus Phoenix getting
an incredibly hardcore comic. There'll be Master Chief in the background with his cod piece off.
That's sacrilege. I'm going to cover Master Chief's. I'm going to cover Master Chief's ears.
Oh, poor little Master Chief. He even looks like he's about to hold your giant cock. Can I just say, there is a game that I wanted to shout out to.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't come across it, there is a VR. What was a VR basketball game called Big Ballers VR. I did do a little bit on it several months ago, and it was just a really fun, really cool little basketball VR game that was. I would say as good as like Gym Class, if you've played Gym Class.
No, I know it got a lot of people liked it.
Yeah, well, as it turns out, there's a huge community for playing basketball in VR, which I wasn't expecting, but there is. There are plenty of people who play Gym Class, like you've got Blacktop Hoops and things like that, but Big Ballers VR was the one that really gripped me, and they many months ago, they sent me some like skins codes and things to try out in the game. So I was like this giant moose guy playing basketball, and that was really cool. Met a bunch of like, because the whole game is filled with kids, obviously, but these kids, like, they're not your traditional like gorilla tag kids. They're actually kids that yeah, but they're not like your squealers. They're in there to play fucking basketball, and these kids have got some skills, man. Like you play like a pickup game of 3-on-3, and these guys are just like, yeah, why are you so shit at this game? Oh, I've only just logged in, and they're just like, yeah, okay, this is how you're gonna actually have to learn to play. And they've like shown me around and stuff. But that was months ago, and now Big Ballers VR has actually like spread its wings, and it's created like American football in VR you can play, but not like the pro era type thing, like you're actually throwing a ball properly and like buggering around with your friends. It's all completely online, it's all completely multiplayer. You've got basketball, football, volleyball, which is actually super fun. Really enjoyed playing volleyball on there, and a bunch of other like bits and bobs within there as well. It's got a really good social system, and most importantly, it's completely free, and it's coming to the official Quest store. It's moving out of App Lab. This, I want to say it's coming out on Thanksgiving, which is Thursday, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's this weekend.
Yeah, so yeah, it comes to the official store on, I think, Thursday. So yeah, go check it out, guys. It's a real good laugh. They're a really good bunch of devs. And yeah, like if any of you want to jump in with me at some point, let me know. Yeah, so football, not shit then. Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. Is Big Ballers is actually good, unlike Pro Era. Pro Era was
thank you.
a
Sorry,
weird
Rezol's
choice.
just donated to my channel. Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, Rezol.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, I like his comment as part of his donation. He's just like, "You will listen to me. Here is $10." I tend to disagree with a number of y'all's opinions, but if I wanted to watch something I agree on everything with, I'd talk to myself in the mirror. So keep up the good work. That's pretty cool, man. Thank you very much for the donation.
Thanks, so I think what Rezol's getting at is there's a word for it on Twitter where you get into communities that you agree with, and you all end up agreeing with each other.
Jerk.
There you go. That's it. A circle jerk. Yeah. So, yeah, that's. I
You
think
may
that's
notice that me, Mac, and Indy, we don't tend to figuratively do the circle jerk. We only do that in real life, and only when we go down to visit Indy.
Yeah.
Oh, see you on Thursday.
Yeah. So if anybody doesn't, we're not allowed to talk about it because we are under NDA, but we are going down. Oh, he's getting ready for you. He's getting ready for you, my friend.
Is he frozen?
No, he's taking a huge amount of painkilling drugs. The dude's been up for an hour.
Mate, I feel stoned.
You look a bit stoned.
It's uncomfortable.
So we're actually going down to an event on Thursday. We're all going to meet up. Clickster's going to be there, I do believe. Yes, Clickster's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Indy's going to be there. We can't tell you what it is yet, but it is a big IP. And it's... Yeah, okay. So on Thursday, we'll be able to tell you more. Hopefully. But we're all going to meet up on Thursday. I'm staying the night. I'm coming back home on the Friday. Indy's coming to my house on Friday night. The wife doesn't know yet. No, she does, honestly. And we're going to do some sightseeing for his travel blog. So,
hold on a second. Hold on a second. You told me Friday night is sex night, and I'm coming to your house on this Friday night. So,
do you know what the most disappointing thing that Indy has to face is that he has to watch Strictly Come Dancing on Saturday night.
Yeah, I'll take
Jesus Christ.
a bunch of Chewy's painkillers, mate. I'll be fucking spaced out. I don't care.
So we're gonna. I love Strictly Come Dancing. I don't care. I'm an old man.
God,
young
Jesus.
girls in tight skirts. It's fantastic.
Good help me. I'll go for a walk for a couple of hours or something. I don't know.
I would,
one of the best things about this weekend is that that Team Tryhard are actually going to get together.
Yeah.
Because Face lives about 20 minutes away from me, and we were the original Team Tryhard on Population 1. It was me, Indy, and Face. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and Saturday we're going to go pick Face up from where he lives. We're going to go to the Angel of the North just to show Indy how amazing it is. And then we're going to go up to Bamborough Castle and hit the beaches around Bamborough Castle with the dog. And on Sunday, we're going to do the highest waterfall in the England. So Indy could do some more stuff for his travel blog. So we're kind of mixing, you know what I mean? Meeting up, being friends, and doing some travel vlog. And Indy's got to go and stand in the backyard while we have Dirty Sex Friday night.
I'll sit in the kennel with the dog. How about that?
You can sit in the Mac cave because we never do it in here.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get all my stuff together. So I've got to do that during the week. Just pack all my shit because I need all my camera stuff. And yeah, so I'm doing a podcast tomorrow on here with work. But yeah, and then Wednesday I'm doing working late, and then Thursday is meeting you guys, and Friday I'm going up to yours, and so yeah, I just got to make sure I bring all my stuff and not forget anything.
Yeah, don't forget we do have electricity up north, so you will be able to recharge all your camera batteries.
Nice.
Damn.
Well, it says to the man who didn't sleep in my house, he went and slept in his van, and then realised we
had solar
live
panels on top of it.
We live on the hill. So he spent the whole night squished in a little corner. Oh my God.
Was Mac that bad, Chewy? You had to sleep in the camper van?
Yeah, no, it was
You pissed out your head.
I was a bit upset. I checked out the spare room, realised there wasn't a lock on the door, and I was just like, ah.
Yeah, hopefully he takes
wife's away. You don't really know how he's gonna act.
All my friends were there. You were a new boy.
Yeah. That was a good night, man. I enjoyed that.
That was a good night. Fuck.
So we've got 2 more episodes, and then it's the Christmas special. Was that-
Christmas special. Yeah. So,
Yeah, if you guys have got any ideas of like if you've got like a particular topic that you want us to cover for a segment for the Christmas special, let us know. Because we could try and go through some serious bits.
bread buns.
Like
Eating
Michael
bread
Carmack.
buns on a podcast.
Was it? Yeah. You spoke about Michael Carmack for about 40 minutes before you even said that. Oh, it's hilarious. That was so funny. Have you guys watched that recently?
John Carmack.
No, but you kept calling him Michael Carmack. It's so funny.
How? Yeah. Okay. Any ideas for the Christmas podcast?
Shots is a good idea.
What shots?
I might get my missus to make some jelly shots.
Yeah. Okay. So, Weeble is not allowed to donate 79p, 79p.
No, I'm changing my menu this year.
Yeah.
Like I'm not doing that again. I was so ill. Not just that night, but for like days afterwards.
Yeah, that was a dirty one. I won't be drinking, everyone. So
that's all right. I will do Indy's drinks for him.
Oh
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
I think on record that was the shortest podcast we ever did, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Like we called it quits after an hour and 20 minutes or something. It was disgustingly short.
You were shoving the dry bread bun into your face.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some more interesting snacks this year than just a bread roll.
You've got to have. You need to have it just for like. It's got to be like every Christmas. You got to do it now. The bread roll.
Yeah, I'll get some interesting. Okay, I'll get a more interesting type of bread. I'll get like a giant cheese and jalapeno bloomer or something.
Oh yeah, this calls for you to start drinking just for that one night again, Indy.
Nah.
Oh, Crash reckons that you're still in a shot deficit from last year.
Oh,
I drank plenty. No, I'm done with it, man. I'm done with drinking. Over it.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I will never peer pressure someone into drinking.
I've done my fucking lifetime's worth. Trust me.
All right, what we're gonna do then is you need to buy the strongest nicotine vape, and every time somebody donates,
don't do that to him. Jesus Christ!
He's just a fucking maniac.
I reckon what you need to do for the podcast then.
All right, then I'll do chili challenge. There you go. Cole's done it.
Oh no! You know who you need to speak to. You need to speak to Doc Ock and ask him the sort of things that he eats on his streams, because mate, that fucks him up something rotten.
Yeah. But I've been eating chilies my whole life. I'm pretty savage when it comes to that, so it's got to be something special.
Oh yeah, but he eats a lot of this stuff anyway, man. And I've seen some of his streams where he's like at the point of vomiting, because this stuff is fucking him up that bad.
But I think
when we were at EGX, sorry, I have to.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to say, didn't he find that Chinese stuff spicy?
That was exactly what I was just about to say.
Because that's not spicy at all, man. That's like not even black pepper for me.
Me and Indy were sat when we went to EGX, and like John did his usual, invites everybody to the Chinese. So
yeah.
I like a bit of spicy Chinese. It was okay. There was these like crispy chicken spicy things, and I was like eating them. I said, "Oh, these are nice. These are really nice." And then I think it was, I can't remember if it was Scorpio or Ham said, "Oh, these are a bit spicy." And he looked at me. He was like, "What?" I was like, "That's not spicy, mate."
I've grown up with chilies, man. It's just standard Indian cooking, right? It's always got some spicy in it, but yeah, I'm pretty fucked up. Like when I go to restaurants, and a lot of the Indian restaurants, the proper ones, they got glass perspex, and you can see the kitchen in that. Or sometimes there's no glass, and you're just like, more chilies, more chilies, more chilies. And he's like, "Are you sure?" And like the whole dish was just green. It was lamb with green. That's how many green chilies I put in there. I loved it.
Well, that
I mean,
lamb.
Yeah.
All right. That lamb dish your dad did. Was it? Did your dad do it, or was it you did it for me the last time I was down?
No, I didn't do it, man. My dad cooked it. I
Oh my
think.
god,
What was it?
that
Last
was
week, Dad.
fucking
It was
unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a
might-
really good cook, man.
I might see if I can find you some of those Scoville skull chocolates, mate, and I'll send them down to you.
But let's do it.
Because those things, they're another level of deadly.
Yeah, so you have a vomit bucket. I'll just sit on a chair with a hole in it with a bucket at the bottom.
No. All right, then. To make it fair, why don't we do some chilies as well?
Yeah, I'm up for that.
I like spicy food. The stuff that Indy was serving me when I came down to see him, that was kind of borderline my tolerance. So it'd be really funny to see an old white fella from the northeast of England fucking. But then at least I can drink to sort of mitigate.
The problem I have is that I don't drink milk.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, you've got the intolerance.
Straight up don't. Yeah. I straight up don't drink milk.
No,
okay.
You're better off sucking on like bread or something. That's better than milk. Milk just puts a coat over your mouth.
Okay.
And you've already proved that a dry bread roll is the best thing for the Christmas podcast.
Yeah,
It is. It's mate, I've never eaten anything as nice as that bread roll at that moment in time. It was just the most delicious thing on the fucking planet.
Oh my god. Right, so the Christmas podcast is on the 18th of December.
4 weeks today.
4 weeks today. So we've got one more podcast to do, and then it's the big one.
Yeah. Diego's gonna send me the bomb. I've had the bomb before, man. I'm talking like chilies, like not just like some ropey hot sauce. I mean, hot wings. Maybe some hot wings. You like hot wings?
Not honestly a fan of hot wings.
Because he's been a vegetarian.
Yeah. Fuck.
We'll find something. We'll find something that we can like actually be on the same level. No matter
we'll
what
work
we're doing.
it out.
Yeah.
Work it out.
All right, I'll do chilies. No worries. Yeah, the bomb. I've had it. I think I've got some in my kitchen cupboard still with Diego. I did once as a dare. There's this stuff called He Who Dares Burns. I did a shot glass full of it, mate. It's proper savage, but it's not like the hottest hot sauce, but it's pretty fucking bad. And I did a shot of it as a dare. I was ruined like the next day.
About 6 years ago, I did I was at this place called the Wine Bar, and I knew the owner, and we were sort of having a chat. And I look up and I see this evil-looking bottle of vodka, and I think it was it 1.1 million Scoville vodka, and I was like, mate, you gotta let me have a fucking go on that shit. And so he straight up, he was just like, mate, I'm gonna give it to you for free because you're gonna fucking hate every bit of this. And he puts it in the shot glass, and I instantly, as soon as I pick it up, like as soon as it gets to my nose, I'm like, I've made a fucking mistake here. And stupidly, what I did was I was just like shotted it to the back of my throat as fast as possible to try and avoid the tongue as much as possible. The problem is that it then went straight up into my nasal canal.
Oh shit!
And I was just like, the amount of mucus and vomit that was coming out of my nose and mouth because of this. Like, whereas if I'd have just done it, I'd have been like, that's super painful. I regret my life decisions, rather than being actually like, I might actually have to go to hospital kind of problems with my nose.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, man. Like, chilies up the nose is never good, especially when it's bad.
I had the same thing when we were doing a challenge with wasabi balls. You ever done wasabi balls?
Yeah.
I don't know him. I don't know him that well. Sorry.
Yeah, I gargle, mate. It's Yeah, same thing happened to me then as well, years and years ago at an anime convention. They were having a competition for that, and once again, the fucking stuff just went straight up into my nose and fucked me.
Nice.
Oh, dear.
I'm gonna, yeah. I guess I'll have to just eat more chilies between now and then, build up more of a tolerance.
Yeah.
Now, see, there's already people in the chat saying we need to fuck him up. So they're not talking about me and Shuey drinking anymore. They're talking about fucking you up with chilies.
Yeah.
Chili challenge ideas.
I'm not mentioning that one chip thing that's going around and someone died.
The Bakoi one chip challenge. Yeah. They did it at my work. The other shift did it at my work, and none of them did any work for 2 hours after that point. They were all completely fucked.
No, I can't see the fun in that. I'd rather just have I'm just going to stick to drinking, so you can do what the fuck you want.
Don't change your mind now, Mac. You started this whole thing.
I did not.
It.
Somebody else
then we'll do
did.
chilies as well.
I know. Well, we'll do some chilies. I can't do the shit
How much
that you're
of a
going to do.
donation would it cost for you to do the fermented fish challenge?
I wouldn't be able to do it. No, not because of the chilies, but the fish. I can't stand that shit, man.
All right, so you're talking to a man who went to Cambodia and went on a food tour, and the guy was so surprised that I got as far as I did because I got to the fermented duck egg fetus. And
Sick shit,
yeah, that is like the big thing. That was like nobody's ever done the fermented duck egg fetus before. And I took the first mouthful and I was like, okay, I think I've got the egg sac, so I think I was quite lucky. But the second spoonful, I was like, nah, can't do it. And he was like, I seriously thought you were actually going to be the first person to get past the fermented duck egg fetus.
Okay, so the question still stands then, Mac. How much would it cost as a donation? Because I will buy and send you that fucking thing for you to do that. Because
it's gonna make the Mac cave stink like fuck.
Just a stinking ass fish.
So you get this tin. Have a look online for people that have done it. Some of it is fucking truly some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. But they did it at my work on the other shift again because they're the weird, crazy people on that shift. And I came in 3 days later and I was gagging. That's how fucking bad it is. The smell of this shit.
Oh my god! Now we'll talk about it off air. We'll talk about it off air and we'll get it all sorted. So obviously Indy's not drinking anymore, so he has to do something else. I'm drinking. I'll do some hot stuff just for the joke.
Shots.
I don't know, whatever. Like, because there's like different Scoville sort of sauces you can try.
Yeah.
So I can do like, I'll try that. We'll do that. We'll walk it all out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Right. Have we spoken about? I mean, like, Shuey's basically in a world of his own. You can tell by his eyes.
Shuey's restricted with his VR content. Well, we could play some stuff, I guess, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm restricted to basically like Demio level games at this point. This morning was excruciating just trying to do the VR, the Assassin's Creed Nexus stuff. So I think for the next week at least, which is a bit, I'm going to hop myself up on a ton of painkillers ready for Thursday. Because I'm not missing out. If they've got gameplay session down there, I'm 100% playing that.
Yep.
Which we can't talk about.
No, we cannot. And yeah, I'm still going to release a vlog on it that day. So
probably
keep an eye out on Twitter, keep an eye on YouTube. There will be bits and bobs on there, I'm sure, from me.
Right. So
are we calling it done then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've had a great time. This is, I think that's the first time we spoke so long for about one game.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. What's your plans, Mac? You going to finish Assassin's Creed between now and the next 2 weeks, like?
Assassin's Creed. I'm not 100% sure whether I've got access to Sniper Elite VR yet. I'm working on it. I'm not interested in Stranger Things. I think there's something wrong with that. I'm not too sure. I'm quite interested in Arashi's Castle. And obviously then the big one is Asgard's Wrath. But also, can I just do a bit of self-promotion? Like and subscribe to my channel. Like and subscribe to Indy's channel. Like and subscribe to Paron's channel. If you're a channel member on my channel, and I've just got 5 new channel members, you can win this Pico 4 on November the 4th. November the 30th. There you go. That's it. Over.
Am I in that giveaway?
Sorry?
Am I in that giveaway?
You are. Of course, you're a channel member.
Okay. Can I get more entries? Because I gifted quite a few
No.
a few channel memberships.
You've actually just decreased your chances of winning.
I know.
Oh, so there is ways of manipulating it. Oh, I'm going to try and find a way of manipulating it in my favor.
Thank you for the subscribe. I can't see who that was, but thank you very much.
Monkey.
I'll open like 70 new channels and then I'll donate from all of them.
And don't forget, The Walking Dead donated to my channel. He gave me 5 new channel members. Rezol donated to my channel. Walking Dead gave you 5 new members, I think, Indy.
Yeah,
and then obviously the beautiful, wonderful chunk of manliness that is Tassos donated his last €5.
That guy, I love that guy so fucking much, but what a fucking bellend.
You need to buy food, Tassos. You need to buy video games. Jeez.
To be fair, I've been buying him video games recently. He's good on that front.
Yeah. So here's another thing which I realized the other day. I didn't know how to redeem my referral code vouchers, because I went on the referral code page on the app on my phone, and it just gives you the referral code details for if somebody's bought a Quest 3. And I didn't realize there was another tab. So I had 28 referral codes to redeem and put £112 of store credit into my account. So if you don't understand what that means, if you buy a game on Meta, you get a referral code. If you give it to your friend and he buys the game, you get £4 and he gets 25% off.
That's nice of you. Thank you, Classy.
Classy Buddies just donated a channel membership to Indie VR.
To Weeble.
Thank you very much. Who's a member now?
Weeble.
We don't know.
Oh, that cheap.
Oh, fuck
it. Get him off there. He needs to do it out of his own accord. Weeble. Okay, all my channel members, I'm giving you all a game apart from Weeble.
LD said, oh, it's bloody Weeble. Typical. Right, guys, I've had a great time. It's always been lovely to see you. Shuey's been a bit stoned, so it's it's really funny.
I might be going live in an hour or a bit. I might have something good.
Assassin's Creed?
That's finished. Deleted off my meta, deleted off my account, and I'm gonna see a no, it's still on my meta quest. Let's see what they do with it. Yeah, in the next hour or so, I might be streaming something. I'm not sure yet. Just keep an eye out. Ring the bell and subscribe to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, that thank you thing's fucked.
You.
And it's not even on my scene, and it's going off from another scene. So yeah, it's going to keep saying thank you otherwise. Yeah. So I'll be at Max on the weekend. I'll be getting more content from my other channel. And I'll be streaming maybe tonight, and then that's it for this week. Maybe not even Sunday. I'll be traveling, so this week's gonna be light on streams.
Yeah, because you'll be coming to see me.
Well, we can do a stream from your shed.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah, I've never thought about that. You have to sit on the shit chair though.
Okay. As long as you're the shit chair, it's fine.
Okay, guys, I'm going to end my stream there. Thank you to everybody in chat. El Diego, Verified, Davey,
Diego,
Shuey, Weeble, Evil Kingus, Parasite, Rezol. Yeah, too many to mention, I'm afraid, because the chat's been going fucking crazy. So,
keep an eye out, guys, for the inevitable OnlyFans that opens up this weekend when Mac and Indy spend 2 nights together. It's gonna be worthwhile. It's gonna be a good money maker.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Diego. It's not going to be Ghost of the Ball, unfortunately. I stopped playing that ages ago, but I did say to WD I will play it with him. I'll play it once more with him. So at some point soon. I'm not really playing it, to be honest. Yeah. All right. Cool. That was a great episode, guys. And yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll probably catch each other's streams and that, and then I'm gonna go eat some chilies.
Hit the like button.
Cool.
Hit the like button. Subscribe to everybody's channels. Subscribe to WDVR. Subscribe to Fitz. Yeah, subscribe to everybody. Cool.
Subscribe to El Diego.
El Diego. Yeah.
Subscribe to Pornhub Premium.
Yeah, that too. That pays for itself. It's like that's tax deductible, people.
All right, everyone. Cheers. It's been a great episode. See you in the next one.
See you
Later,
next one.
people.
Bye.
Bye.